Why?
There is no answer.
Brenda pulled herself out of a shattered plane. Why did they let her fight her way back? Why did they give us a chance to hope and plan? And why did they rip us apart as soon as we had it right?
Don't look for reasons. There are no reasons.
Did we ask for too much? Were we greedy? Or were we too happy for nature to bear?
Jax, you're gonna make yourself crazy.
We knew we were lucky.
Yeah.
And we were grateful. Were we not grateful enough?
Don't do this to yourself.
Or was it arrogance? Was it my
Please just stop.
arrogance?
Stop, okay?
Maybe I was just too bloody sure of myself. You know, I swore to Brenda that nothing could break us. Not the fear, not the illness, nothing on earth. Whatever fate threw our way, we'd weather. And I promised. I promised her, and I believed that in my soul.
And you were right. Hey, you were right.
No, I was a damn fool.
No, stop.
Why didn't I run the moment I saw Veronica's face? Why didn't I whisk Brenda out of her grasp? Why did I let Veronica near?
You had no way of knowing.
Yes, I did. One look at that woman, and my nerve endings started to hiss. Veronica was walking home, and there were too many warning signs not to see it.
But she was Brenda's mother.
She was a curse. And now there's no Brenda. Brenda's gone.
My mother begged Dad to leave the force. You know, be a coach, be a teacher, work in a store. You know, and I was right in line, pitching safety. You know, I couldn't stand the thought of my father getting killed. And whenever I'd go to work, I'd have these huge flashes of somebody, you know, shooting him down. And then one day it happened. Just like that. We lost him. You know, and not like we always thought we would. Jax, my father died in his fishing boat on a beautiful summer day. Freak collision in the water.
I'm sorry. I've been self-indulgent.
No, that's not the point. This blaming yourself, it has to stop. I mean, we can protect the people that we love all we want, but there's no foolproof way of keeping them safe. You made Brenda really happy. You should give yourself credit for that. Stop bashing yourself with the should-haves.
I know. I have to live with the way things are.
I know that sounds impossible right now, but this pain that you're feeling, it goes away. I know because I've lost people. I mean, not the love of my life or anything.
But you lost your parents. That was devastating. You don't get another mother or dad. The door to your youth is permanently shut, and your life can never be the same. It's like that now. The door to the magic part of my life has been slammed shut.
I know you think that now,
You know, some people, they live for decades and they never feel it at all. Some people aren't even convinced that magic truly exists.
It can happen, Ken.
No. I had it once. And it was magnificent. But that door can't open again.
Have you eaten or slept?
I'm all right.
How long are you planning on staying? You do realize that they'll revoke your bail if they find out you've left town.
Well, with any luck, they won't.
Jax, I'm sorry, but it's gonna take more than luck. This came.
What is it?
It's from the feds.
Later, okay?
And you have to deal with it now. They're offering some kind of deal. I don't know the specifics, but I do know they're watching the time, and you have 15 hours to get back to them in person, not by phone.
Why would I want to deal with the feds, huh? They have absolutely nothing on me.
Well, they have your brother and your father. Apparently, this could get them off.
Which is what? A goal of mine? Of any interest to me at all? J&J Jacks of Alaska. The house of lies that's tumbled. Why should I lift a finger to get them out?
Look, either way, you're going to have to show up to accept the deal or turn it down.
How long again?
15 hours. You'll need a flight ASAP. I'll be happy to give you my ticket.
I booked a return flight.
Oh.
What, do you think I'd fade into the sunset and disappear?
I didn't know what to expect. But the feds will think you split.
This is the place where I just needed to be here.
You need a ride to the airport?
I got a rental car.
Great, I'll meet you there. What airline?
Pan Global.
Good, it's the same as mine. I'll see you at the terminal. Please, weigh out all your options. You'll hate yourself later if you don't. You don't have to agree on anything, but you're asking for trouble if you don't show up. Pan Global. The ticket counter.
989 is boarding now. Miss Ardanowski, I'm afraid we can't switch your flight. This one's booked.
Thanks.
Well, you've got to get back.
Gate 3, it's a bit of a walk.
989 now boarding at gate
If I were you, I'd hurry.
I need to thank you.
No, you don't have time for that. Listen, go or you're gonna miss your flight. It's 13 hours and 45 minutes.
So what time I need to make up my mind?
Well, then you can do that when you get back to headquarters, when you race in and make the deadline.
Your parents must have been good people.
Last call, and level flight 989.
Can we do this back in
now
Port
boarding
Charles?
at gate number 3.
Jax, please, I'm begging you, don't miss this flight.
It was luck that brought you into my life. I looked out for you when you were in danger, and it brought you back to me after sunny Corinthos left you in ruins. I'm the luckiest man on earth, Brenda, and that's not going to change now. You and I will always be together. Loving, happy,
and most of all healthy. That's what's meant to be. And that's what's going to happen.
Brenda loved this. She got it in New Orleans when she was with Jax. He'll want this.
I still have some room in this box.
Well, I have this one set aside for things that he might want right away. Most of her stuff, I don't think that he's ready to go through it yet.
You know, we're gonna need some more boxes for our clothes. I just found another closet. Robin, why don't you keep that to remind you of her?
Well, because Michael's gonna be walking soon and he'll be able to pull down every breakable object in the house. It'll be safer with Jax. Besides, everywhere I look, I see Brenda.
We don't have to do this. We can find another house.
No, I love it. It's exactly what I wanted.
But it makes you sad.
And it's only because this house is filled with Brenda's memories. But she was happy here. And gradually, we'll make our own memories. Michael walking. First snow. You coming home from work. Us watching the stars out on the porch. And then sooner or later, our memories will be here alongside Brenda's. I'm not sad because of the house. I'm sad because I miss my friend. Oh, that'll be Bobby.
You want me to send her away?
No, I'm okay.
Hi.
Hi.
Did Robin tell you I called?
Yes.
Hi, come in.
I brought a little housewarming gift for my grandson.
He's actually upstairs taking his nap, but he'll be awake so you can wait if you want.
Oh, well, thanks. Okay, I'd love to. Here. Wow, the front yard is absolutely fantastic. And the backyard, it goes all the way to the creek?
Yeah.
Oh, and the sunlight in here. Wow, this place is incredible.
Yeah, it's a little homier than the penthouse, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, you know, when you first told me you were moving in here, I thought it might be a mistake. But gosh, just driving up here and seeing this place come out of the trees. I think the two of you are going to be very happy here.
Any sign of your client yet?
Not so far. Listen, you and Jax go back a ways, don't you?
Yeah, and it hasn't always been pleasant, but we're better now. When did you see him last?
When he walked out the day before yesterday.
Look, if you're worried that Jack's jumped bail, don't be. All right, he may have violated his bail agreement and taken off someplace, but he will be back.
He lost his fiancée in a sudden, tragic death. On the day of her memorial service, he finds out that his family's been arrested for money laundering. He gets taken in for the show of it. The government seizes everything he owns. You don't think if he has a drop box on a remote island somewhere, he isn't headed there right now?
To leave his father and brother to rot in prison? Not Jack's.
Well, we've got about 30 seconds before the FBI rep walks in here and wants to know where he is. And if I don't produce him, he loses all chance for future bail.
I told you.
Jax!
Alexis, Matt.
Jack's. Good luck.
Thank you.
You want to come in?
Got it close enough?
That's how I operate. You can keep up?
I'll see.
Washington has authorized me to make you a deal, Mr. Jax. If you choose to take it, you can walk away from this mess free and a relatively wealthy man. And all you have to do is testify against your father and your brother. You agree to testify that your father and your brother deliberately lied to you about their illegal activities and kept you in the dark. And in exchange, government will not press charges. And you'll be allowed to keep a block of stock in one of 3 companies in which you presently own shares. Merger Shipping, Fiberline Electronics, or ELQ. You decide which.
Why did those 3 make the short list?
Because they are untainted by organized crime. Bottom line, Mr. Jacks, when you turned 21, your father and your brother gave you $1 million to see what you could turn it into. Now, we know that you didn't know that that was dirty money, but that makes no legal difference. Your entire portfolio is based on that original gift, and that gives us the right to take it. Everything. Think about it, Mr. Jacks. We're offering you a good deal. I advise you to take it.
Be that as it may, what you're essentially saying, Agent Rice, is that you have no evidence against my client. Which goes to false arrest, impugning the very hard-fought, very valuable reputation of my client. In fact, I think if pressed, we could put a price tag value on the damage the U.S. government has done to that reputation in the international business community. You have arrested my client on charges of racketeering. Now prove it.
You built an empire based on dirty money. Your mistake was not asking, not even checking where that money came from. That was your crime. And the penalty is very stiff and very specific. Mr. Jacks, your father and your brother gave you a very raw deal. Now, if you stop and think about it for a minute, you'll see we're giving you a good one.
My attorney and I will have to hear the specifics and the guarantees. I need your assurance that everything he says is legal and binding before I even start to consider it.
Here's a copy of the government's proposal. Oh, let me stress, this timetable is non-negotiable. If I haven't heard from you in 72 hours, this deal is off.
So what do you think?
Is your portfolio entirely tied to your father and brother?
Yes.
That's not good.
So it's all at risk?
It's like he said, legally speaking, everything born of dirty money is dirty, and the government does have the right to seize it. You can. However, if you act quickly, as in tonight, short-sheet as much capital as you can into a country without an extradition treaty.
Live in exile?
As a wealthy man.
I know someone who did that. It's an empty existence. It has no appeal for me. The evidence against my father and brother, how does it look?
I predict that the attorneys will start to fall away because they know that they're going to lose and they're never going to get paid. Jax, you can't save them, whether you testify or not. If you accept the deal that's being offered, at least it puts you in a position to have some money if they need it down the line.
I need you to go over the offer, make sure it's all legal, get a list of the loopholes to me, and I'll figure out what option to take. And if you see Ned before I do, be sure to thank him for the bail and for sending you my direction.
I know what it's like to rebuild a reputation. Can I buy you lunch?
Thank you, but there's someone I need to see.
Okay. I'll be in touch.
Excuse me, officer. How would I go about finding Officer Adamowski?
Check with the desk. I don't think she's on right now.
Well, if you see her, could you tell her to call Jax?
Sure.
Thank you.
Jax, you have a second?
Not really.
Can you make one? I owe you an apology.
For what?
My part in doing this to you.
What exactly is it that you did to me?
I'm the one that turned your family into the feds.
Just when I thought we were starting to like each other.
It wasn't your family I was after, for what it's worth.
Probably just Jerry.
Jason, actually. Like one of my people was trying to get something on him. Instead, they walked into my office with everything that Jerry and John never wanted us to find out. Your name was nowhere in the file. Otherwise, I might have hesitated. But instead, I called Washington, D.C. Jax, I can't tell you how sorry I am about the timing of all that. But I'm not sorry about John and Jerry, all right? They're big boys. They knew what they were doing. I also had no knowledge that you were going to be arrested. And when I found that out, I did all I could to have that postponed for a couple of days until after Brenda's memorial.
Your apology's not accepted. Because you have nothing to be sorry for, Mac. You did your job. The only thing I'd like to change is losing Brenda. And you had nothing to do with that.
Thank you.
Let me ask you a question, Mac. The government has offered me a deal to testify against my father and Jerry. In your professional opinion, will they be convicted without me?
The evidence against them is as solid as it gets. With or without your testimony, they're doing time. Jax, if the government has something on you and they've offered you a way out, take it.
Hey, man.
I tried to call.
Yeah, I turned the phone off. Somehow the media got a hold of the number.
I heard you made the meeting.
Thanks again, V.
If there's anything I can do to help, I'm on a meal break right now. If you, need me to deal with the press, issue a statement or type some letters or make some phone calls,
I don't need a secretary. I need a friend.
Sure.
The government has made me an offer. I need someone to discuss it with. Someone I trust. Right now, there's only one person on that list. And that's you. Until I lost Brenda, most people would say I led a charmed life. I lost Miranda as a young man, but I got past that, and from that time on, things were pretty much golden. The thing about being golden is you don't really know how people feel about you. Are they your friends because they like you, or because of what you can do for them? And this is the time to find out who's who. I can never repay you. I could get it all back and still not be able to repay you. Don't testify. Everything I own will go to the government and be disposed of in a manner that bars my participation. If I do testify, I get to keep stock in one company.
Will your testimony make or break the case against your father and brother?
No, they're going to prison either way. The deal is only to my advantage. So what would you do?
Ultimately? I can't answer that. You know I'm a stickler for being above the law. And I don't approve of what Jerry and John have been doing. Funny, I can understand they're lying to you. Because they knew how you would react if you found out. I don't agree with it. But I understand. And the fact that you feel betrayed makes total sense. They lied and their greed robbed you of the fruits of your hard, honest work. Years of work. If you take the deal, no one will blame you. Everyone will say you did the right thing. That's one side. The other side is that in the time I worked for you, I've listened to your end of a lot of phone conversations with your family. And I always knew it was one of them on the line because of the way you always smiled and how easily they made you laugh.
V, that was an illusion. You hang on to them until they shatter. And this one has. I'm never going to smile and laugh like that again. Not with them.
I'm just trying to lay all the cards on the table for you. I mean, this is the lousiest time in the world for you to have to make this kind of decision. Hello? Detective Taggart. Yeah, what can I do for you? Okay, I'll see you there. I have to go to work now. Have I even helped?
Yeah. Thanks for stopping by and listening.
Jax, I'd like to help you any way I can. You know, if you change your mind about the press release or anything secretarial,
Look, I've got it under control. Go to work. Dear Jax, thought you might like to have these things at Brenda's. Love, Robin. That's nice. Brenda, your mother abandoning you had to do with your father and a bad marriage. That sort of behavior does not get passed down in one's genes. What's more important here is who you've become without her. And you're strong, you're savvy, and devoted. You don't quit. Just teach the little one to be just like you. And it won't get any better than that.
You know who I love?
Who?
John. For being your role model. You're gonna be the best dad.
How was your run?
It's fine.
Jax?
Sorry, Jane, but I was on my way to have a shower.
I've ordered lunch. I was hoping we could eat together.
Thank you, but I'm not hungry.
I've just come from the jail. There's several issues.
Look, I really need to get out of these clothes, okay?
It'll... Wait. You've been avoiding me for days. Now, I respect your grief, but this distance cannot continue.
I've had a lot on my mind, I'm sure you understand.
Of course I do. But you can't pretend that I'm not here, because I am. And you also can't pretend that your father and brother don't exist. Now, love us, hate us, but you're going to have to deal with us, starting with me.
right, Jane, the floor is yours.
I went to the police station this morning, hoping to see your father and brother. And for some reason, their visitation rights had been revoked.
And you think I know why?
I know you well enough to be certain of it.
The government offered me a deal, which would allow me to keep the family home in Alaska, also a block of stock in either merger shipping, fiber line electronics at ELQ, all of which are free of criminal influence.
In return for what?
My testimony that Dad and Jerry deliberately kept me in the dark about their dealings with organized crime.
You can't do that, Jax.
Are you suggesting I jeopardize what's left of my future to save two men I know are guilty?
One of them is your father. A man who fought his way out of poverty so that his sons could have every opportunity he was denied.
I've heard all the war stories, Jane. I don't consider them an excuse for a lifetime of lies.
You want to take a hard look at your father? Go ahead. But at least consider both sides of the balance sheet. Like the times he flew across the country to watch you play junior league soccer. The times he walked out of business meetings to take your phone calls. The night he stayed home from a banquet honoring his achievements because you had a fever of 103 and you were crying for your daddy. From the moment you were born, your father has been a loving, supportive, positive force in your life. Now, he may not be perfect, but no amount of errors and judgment could take away that.
Yeah, you're right. You know, Dad gave me a lot. The only thing he didn't give me was a choice in whether I wanted to do business with criminals.
Well, if it's choices you want, you've got plenty of them now. You can help your brother, or you can send him to prison, from which he will surely try to escape and suffer the consequences. You can help your father, or you can destroy him.
Dad is still the toughest man I know. He'd survived the penitentiary, just like he survived everything else.
Prison would kill your father, Jax. There is no doubt in my mind. And I can no more imagine a life without my husband than you can envision yours without Brenda.
Thank you.
I've ordered all your favorites.
Well, I'm not about to eat just yet, until certain things are resolved, such as using Brenda's memory to manipulate me.
Well, there is a parallel, Jax, even though it's a painful one.
Brenda was taken away from me by a senseless, tragic early death. If Dad goes to jail, it'll be because he repeatedly broke the law. The two have nothing in common, and I really appreciate it if you wouldn't compare them again.
Well, the point I'm making is that your father would be taken away. How or why doesn't matter.
Do you have any idea what I would give to have Brenda tucked away in a jail cell? Where I could see her on a regular basis, hear her voice, still be able to share my life with her in some way? I've lost her fully, and for all time. To compare that with Dad doing jail time for fattening himself on the profits of killers and thieves, that's an insult to a memory.
Now, you wait just a minute, Jax. I love Brenda, too. I've wept for her, and I have wept for you. But sending your father and brother to jail would only add to the tally of loved ones departed from us, and I don't believe that either one of us can afford that.
I've already lost my father and brother. They've been replaced with a pair of liars to whom I've only recently been introduced.
Your father and brother would do anything to keep you from harm. And all I am asking is that you do the same for them.
You know, Dad was a good teacher. He always impressed on me to take care of myself first. Well, I've learned that lesson well. because that's precisely what I'm going to do. I cannot continue to hold. Please tell Mr. Carey that I'd like to speak with him immediately. Now he's unavailable? You know, 2 weeks ago he was practically burning up my answering machine trying to get in on a deal I was putting together. No, that's fine. Please, just tell Mr. Carey that I never forget a favor or brush off. Thank you. Who is it?
Catherine Bell. Hello.
Yes?
May I come in?
Sure.
Thank you. First, I'd like to express my condolences. Brenda was a very special person. I'm not sure if you knew this, but we had a very profitable working relationship. And I'd like to think a friendship of sorts.
Well, thank you. And what's appropriate? Welcome back?
It'll do.
What can I do for you, Catherine? I have a lot of phone calls to make.
Actually, I was hoping that we could do a little business together.
Well, all my business dealings are on hold for the time being. Just out of curiosity, what do you have in mind?
Well, I know that you are an ELQ stockholder, and should you manage to retain that stock, I'd like to buy it at twice the market value.
Why?
I believe in the company.
Most people throw them at the Quartermains because they need an ally. Do you?
Against whom?
Well, if I was Stefan Cassadine, I'd be worried.
Well, I will give you some time to think about this, and I'll call again next week. Be well, Jax.
I just needed someone to believe in me first.
Listen, do me a favor.
What?
Don't spend too much time on this new record company of yours that you forget to marry me.
Not a chance. My priorities are straight for the first time in my life. You come first.